All right, so we're getting back into doing training aid reviews because it has been a month of Sundays since I have done a training aid review. Meow. And while I do appreciate all of your support and love down the lens on what's happening with my tournaments, part of this channel's goal is to help you get better at golf. So let's do some more training aid reviews today. When this training aid came out, it was almost impossible to get your hands on, but I've actually had mine since day one because I am fortunate enough to be in Arizona near the creator of this, and I was able to snag one. And I'm talking about the Plane Mate by Tour Striker. And I know, I'm a day late and $1 short. Everybody from Mel Reed to Rory McIlroy has been seen using this contraption, but I figured I've been using mine as an amateur golfer for the last couple of months. I wanted to give you my unique perspective on what I think of the device. So we're gonna answer a couple of questions in this video. Is the Plane Mate the ultimate training aid, and will it help you fix your over-the-top slice? Let's find out right meow. Thank you very much for tuning in to my YouTube channel. My name is Kenny. Some of you may know me as Kennie Kat. I am a competitive golfer, and my goal is to help you improve your golf by learning from some of my successes and also some of my failures. If you want to know what training aids, what practice guides, and what things I'm working on with my coach that could help you improve your golf faster, hit that subscribe button below. I release free content every single week. All right. Got some notes here because I need notes when I'm doing reviews so I can be as accurate as possible. All right, if you're new to my channel, I always follow 5 simple guidelines when it comes to reviewing training aids. The first one is obviously gonna be price. Second one's going to be, is the device or training aid easy to use? Third one is it easy to learn with? Do you get good feedback from it? Is it very intuitive to teach you whatever it is that the training aid is trying to teach you? The fourth is design and build quality. And the fifth is, can I make this myself for a lot cheaper? So what is the Plane Mate by Tour Striker? Let's actually go to the website and let's just read the description because that's the easiest way to make this happen. The Tour Striker Plane Mate is the first product of its kind that provides the feeling of a professional takeaway and transition. By adopting the sense of resisting the tension band early in the backswing, you'll train your body to take the club back properly. Then, by relaxing your arms and wrists, when the tension starts to build, the club will shallow onto a powerful plane, inspiring a body rotation for an inside-out strike. With the Plane Mate, simply resist, relax, and rotate your way to the most satisfying ball striking of your life. Man, that is some brilliant copy. So it's basically a device that gives you force feedback that forces you to shallow the club in transition, meaning that it's going to be very difficult to get this club coming steep and over the top, right? And ideally, if you shallow the club, you should be able to effectively strike the ball better because that's the most efficient way to get a club delivered to the ball. And most amateurs, myself included, struggle with slicing the ball, which is likely for them coming over the top, early extending, and basically all the things that come with you getting the club in front of your body instead of shallowing behind you. It comes with 3 different resistance bands, and I'll do a little close-up on these bad boys so you can see them closer. It's got a short green band, which is used for chipping and probably where most people are going to start when they pull this right outside of the box. It's got a longer green band that's used for more... It's got a longer green band that's used for more full shots, which they describe as, kind of the intermediate level. And then it's got a stronger red band that's designed for, they call it professional. So this one's gonna give the most resistance. It also comes with this medieval looking contraption device belt that goes around your waist and kind of looks like some kind of chastity belt, which if you were caught wearing this in public, you probably wouldn't need a chastity belt because no one would ever want to touch you. And it simply attaches with Velcro and wraps around your waist, and it's got a little pulley system here, which again, I will show some close-ups of this, I'm sure people have seen this, that attaches on like so. So let's get the first one out of the way, price. This training aid is $200, which is definitely on the higher end of some training aids you may find in the market. If you're gonna look for it on the secondary market, you may be able to find this on eBay or secondhand for around $150. The next topic, is it easy to use? At first, no, it's not very easy to use. I mean, putting the belt on is pretty self-explanatory. Assuming that you put your pants on one leg at a time, I'm sure you can figure out a way to put a belt on. It's relatively simple, easy to set up, right? You've got a waistband, you got a belt that goes on like so. And I'm just gonna have to make sure that I don't knock my audio out when I put this bad boy on. And then you have a short green band, which clips onto this little contraption here on the side, this little rail, and it literally just pops in like so. And then obviously this little device connects to a club, and most of this is gonna be functioned on, really short chipping motions. Actually, I'll get a club to demonstrate. Great, all I have is a 5-iron, but screw this bad boy on there, and then that's kind of the gist of it. Oh, that might be a little too tight right there. You kind of get the idea. There's resistance that's here in the band, and the goal is obviously to make sure that you stay, you resist and you connect with these shots so that the club is basically getting pulled backwards behind you, right? So that you can't really come over the top. I'm gonna get to the range and demonstrate this a little bit later, but you're basically setting this thing up so that everything shallows behind you, and then you can get the club delivered into a good position. So the device comes with a 7-day training guide that shows the average person how to use it. And let's face it, most of you don't have coaches that you work with on a consistent basis. So that would be the recommended way that I would go about it. And I think Martin Chuck did a phenomenal job with his 7-day practice guide. It's got really good instructional videos on there that are really helpful, and I followed them myself, even though I have a coach. I started with it indoors because I like to follow instructions, usually, and going through the slow motions and repetitious work in the mirror is really helpful for me, and it's really where it helped me the most with my swing. And I'd recommend you do the same thing. I'm a huge proponent of mirror work. Seeing yourself do an action and seeing yourself perform something is a lot better for your brain to connect those neural pathways of what you feel and what you see and make feel real and all that good jazz. Have you ever used the PlaneMade? Have you ever heard about it? Would you be considering buying one of these things? If you have any experience with it, or if you use it or have a friend that's used it, let me know your thoughts below. And just to recap, no, it's not an easy training aid to use at first. It has a very strange feel to it. It's very unfamiliar, and it does have a learning curve. You have to get used to the tensions and the feedback that it's providing on your body. But if you're able to take it slow, and I know people want to rush to hit full shots, but the biggest thing with this, if you're able to take it slow and just work with those short, simple, chipping motions that, Martin Chuck from Tour Striker recommends, I think you're going to be able to get acclimated to this training aid very quickly. After you familiarize yourself with how this feels and you become efficient with some of those short swing, chippy motions inside of your own home or without hitting a ball, then the next step would be heading over to the range to hit a couple shots, which is exactly what we're gonna do. Let's head over to the range. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and hit a couple of wedge shots before with putting the PlaneMade on, so that way we can get a little bit before and after, and then we'll look and do a compare and a contrast, take a look at how it's impacting my swing and what kind of changes it's making. So I'm gonna get warmed up, go ahead and hit a couple wedge shots. Try to hit some good wedges. There we go. Hit another one. Let's go a little 3/4. Get these up a little more aggressive. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and strap this bad boy on. I think the chipping band goes just below the grip. You can kind of get an idea for where it's supposed to go based off of the tension. Literally said I read the instructions. Clearly I do not.
Why you always lying?
There should be a little tension in the band as we get down to a little chip. Yep, which there is. Perfect. Give me a second here. I need to get this thing a lot tighter. There we go. As you can tell, I've used this many times before, and even on my first time around, it's still a little funky, always getting used to with the tension. But man, I will say that strike is definitely a lot crisp. And I mean, I can already just tell from the way the ball's contacting it, it's just, I'll see it on video, but it's a hell of a lot cleaner through the turf. I'm sure it shows up on video too. Now, I'm gonna grab this with another wedge just to illustrate this, because this always happens when I use this. Here's what force feedback or resistance feedback devices do to you. You take the band off, you go to set up to it, because you're used to having that resistance there, your arms want to kind of just do this, which is the craziest feeling ever. I know it looks like I'm doing that, but I'm not. So you set up and you just kind of relax your arms. It just lifts the club into impact position. I think it's just because you're used to applying pressure to it, but it's just such a Such a funky feeling just every time I try it. All right, I'm gonna hit a couple of these without the band on. Let's take a look and see if that feel can transfer over. All right, let's switch over to the full swing or full shot. All right, so we're gonna switch over into 8-iron, do some full swings. Again, I'm gonna start with just normal, and then we'll put on the band, see what it looks like before and after, then hit a couple shots after. Switch over to the full green one. I'm not gonna do the red because I don't feel like punishing myself today. So now the thing with this is I've always found it when I'm practicing with it, I can't really quite get a full extension through just because of how the band and everything works. It's always really funky to get it going this way. So I like to just hit those 3/4, which is kind of what he recommends as well too. So in case you're wondering why I'm sawing off my finish, I always have to remember not to let this thing yank me behind because it does do that. So you got to kind of fight that tendency. Let's see. Face just a little bit open. I'll get the hang of it. Now, as you can clearly see, the full swing bands are a lot more tough than, excuse the wind, a lot more tough than the little chippy ones, but we'll see on the before and after how that works out. Pull this bad boy off, just go with a regular full swing with the 8-iron. All right, so it's done before and after. I'm gonna pull the complete belt off. Ooh, feels like one of those like waist trainers that women wear to try to get their waists tiny and their butts big, or make their butts look bigger. Not that kind of video, Kenny, not that kind of video. Yeah, see, that is just absolute lovely. Oh, look at that. Oh. There it is. We can definitely end it there. All right, and we are back. Okay, so in summary, I actually wanted to talk about the feedback, right? I know a lot of you down that lens always want to see a before and after with a device like this, but the problem with that is I've been using this device in conjunction with natural swing training and just working with my coach for such a long time. This is not a miracle. No training aid is a miracle device. You're not gonna go buy a training aid, put the device on, use it once, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be hitting it like a PGA Tour pro. That's just not how it works. When it comes to training aid devices that can help people feel the sensation of what it's like to shallow the club, this is the best thing in the market, right? Not only does it force you into a shallow position, it over exaggerates the heck out of that position, right? So if you're somebody that comes over the top, or you're someone that, you know, gets the club very steep and gets it out in front of you, it's going to feel hell of unnatural to you to use this device. And the fact that it's so uncomfortable is what makes it a good device. Like, if you lean into the fact that it's uncomfortable, if you lean into the fact that you're gonna look completely ridiculous using this thing, and if you lean into the fact that you're gonna hit some absolutely terrible shots until you start to feel what it's like to completely and overly aggressively shallow the club, it's going to be a good device that gives you good feedback. And I do think it is an effective training aid, but I also think it's a training aid that you have to use with some general understanding of what your body is doing and what's going on with your golf swing. It's so good because it is so forceful and it is so aggressive in its resistance that if you don't understand how your body works and how to swing the club around your body, you could easily be using this device and end up building in some habits that are not good for you to ball strike. So let's talk about the design and build quality. The training aid itself is made of some very good, durable materials. Tour Striker makes a good product. All the things that I've purchased from Tour Striker are still holding up, and I've used them repeatedly over and over. The build quality of the bungee cords, of the strap itself, is very durable, and this is something that is going to last, so it's definitely worth the $200. However, what I will say is some of the little nuts and bolts and screws with it are a little tiny, and I would totally foresee myself losing any of those pieces over time. I know this after confirming on the website, you can order some replacement pieces, which means that I'm sure enough people have reached out to him about stuff that they've lost. My biggest gripe about the build quality is the belt size. Now, I know that this thing is designed to fit one size fits all. And I'm a 31-inch waist, and I know I'm in the minority here because most Americans don't have a waist that tiny, and I get it. That's the market he's selling to, but hey, it's my damn video, so I'm gonna complain about my particular problems. It's my party and I cry if I want to. I basically have to pull this thing so darn tight to get it to stay on me. I'm sure it's not a problem for most people, and I'm sure it's not a problem for most Americans, which this product is aimed at, if you can fit into a jumbo-sized belt. Yeah, I said it, overweight Americans.
Oh no, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did.
And then we're moving on to our next point. Can you build it yourself? I'm sure there is somebody out there that has tried to put a resistance band on their belt and emulate the feel and the resistance of this device. Is it possible? Maybe. Would I try to go that route? Absolutely not. Martin Chuck has clearly done a very good job designing and engineering this product and has put a lot of thought into it. A lot of professionals have used it. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, no, you can't really build this with stuff you have at home. Better off just buying the device itself. But will this help you fix or cure a slice? I definitely think that this will help you start to get a movement pattern that is a lot less over the top, and it will start to decrease the curvature of that nasty shot shape or that nasty slice that you probably have over time. But all in all, when it comes to devices on the market that's gonna help the average person get and feel the sensation of what it's like to take a club back in a neutral plane and get that club shallowing behind them so they can deliver it into the ball from the inside out, the Playmate is by far the best tool in the market for it. That's really all I got for you. As always, thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel. Deuces, people. Let's keep it moving.